Hello all and welcome back to Sunday Q&A on a Sunday. Yeah, sorry I didn't do it last week. I was kind of well enough to do it, but I was, I laid down and thought I just ain't got the energy. I'm going to have a day just to try and get myself back to normal. But thanks very much for all the good the well wishes. Cheers, I'm feeling a lot better. Been out on the road again this week. It's getting back to normal slowly. On Monday was a nightmare. Nothing at all. Couldn't get a job on Monday. I'm thinking, how long is this going to go on for? But then Tuesday, my regular punter sprung to life, and then the rest of the week we've had there's been a little bit of life on the CX. I'm hoping by next week probably back to normal. So, firstly, the thing that seems to be most on people's minds is payments. Goma21 says if they don't pay, threaten them with negative feedback, which is reasonable. And Andrew Broadbent's made this point. I made the point in the past, when you're starting off, you just want to leave positive feedback. So you want to get a return. I'm past that point now. We actually will leave feedback accordingly. So we'll only leave feedback when we get paid, or if someone's done an exceptional job, you leave the feedback. And we work for regular people, we leave feedback, they leave it for us. If someone doesn't pay us, then we'll ring them up and go, look, you do the thing, you ask nicely, then you ask nicely again, then you go, come on now, and then you go, then you can, one thing you can do along with threatening them with like county court judgments is you can threaten them with negative feedback. B Carol says be wary, the first payment is likely to be delayed because they have to set you up on a system. This is also true. Setting people up on a system, but depending on which bank account you've got, it's a pain. For mine, it's an utter pain. It's a Lloyd's one. I have to log on with a card reader. Then you have to set them up manually. Then you have to set them up. Then you have to put the code in, and it can take a good couple of minutes just to set someone up on a bank account to pay them, knowing that there is a good chance you'll only ever pay them once. I've briefly mentioned this to Lloyd's, but Lloyd's are all about the security. So on the flip side of things, that's good too. So, but if you don't get paid straight away, and sometimes, anyway, we'll come back to that in a minute. Steve Davis makes a point. A lot of big forwarders pay at the end of the month. And again, there's a reason for this, I believe. It just makes sense from an admin point of view, because what we'll do is all the jobs that we put out that our drivers can't do, when they come into us, we'll build up the invoices, and as long as we've got the invoices and the PIDs back, the bits if we need them from the customers, then come the end of the month, just pay it all in one hit. So again, rather than actually having to sit there, log on the system, pay one guy, and then half an hour later or the next day do it again, you just build up a whole system. You go click, create customer, click, and pay the whole lot. That does make it easier. Sometimes we do miss one. We missed one this week, and again the guy rang up. He said, "I'm chasing something from November. I'm supposed to be paid by now." I went back. I looked. He must have gone off. He got missed off the system. I don't know why. Paid him straight away. Said ever so sorry. So it does happen. It's kind of. Again, we're a fledgling companies. I'm sure bigger companies out there, more professional people, have got a much better system than us, but we're learning and we're getting there. So, but it does happen, like I say, if you're not being paid, first thing to do is ring them up, ask nicely. Yeah, this is an interesting one that I'm going to put out there. My mate said, well, Brian told me this. If they ever turn around to you and they go, I haven't got your paper POD, turn around to them and say, well, have you got a paper copy of the invoice? And if they turn around and say yes and go, well, then you have had my POD, because we never send out a paper copy of an invoice. The paper PODs are always stapled to the back. So if you've got it, you've had it, you've lost it, pay me. So yeah, that's just, but again, that tends to be a delaying tactic. And from what I'm hearing from most of you, most people are on the ball, most people are good. Your delaying tactic, you might get 98% of them are good, 2% of them might give you the runaround. But 2% you can kind of live with it. Even when they give you the runaround, they will hopefully eventually pay. So, and C11 Yan, Ian, hello mate. He says, don't be, after the first couple of initial questions, he says, don't be afraid to be bullshit. He said, that's what all the factoring companies will do. They'll start going, right, okay, we've asked nicely, now you pay me. And if you don't pay me by the middle of next week, I'm going to step it up a gear. So that's the advice from you guys out there, which I'm passing on. Thanks as always. So anyway, back to old Fluey Peter here. Sick on a job. Oh, wasn't pleasant. It really wasn't. I think my wife says you still look pale. I'm looking at myself in the because you can see yourself reflected on the phone when I'm recording. Yeah, it's not a pretty sight. But it's never a pretty sight anyway, in fairness. RK says, at least it's not van flu. No, which is true, because I'm much cheaper to fix than the van. I had bird flu once. Kept feeling peckish. Let that one go. Steve Davis says, he says, when I'm sick, when the wife's sick, The blankets are out, the TLC's out. I know the whole situation. Do you want a cup of tea, love? Have you got anything? Do you need some paracetamol? Do you want your remote control for the TV? He says, when I'm sick, it's like, get back to work, you lazy git. Yeah, that's why I tend not to overeat if I can. That's why I woke up feeling like death and still drove to Newcastle and back. And then when I'm sick, I just go, I'm going to bed. Because the easiest thing to do is just go to bed, shut the door, and that way they can't see you. And if they can't see you, they can't look at you as if to go, we're swinging the leg. I just go, just disappear. I think if I couldn't go to bed, I'd go rent a hotel room or something, go lie there for a day or so. I'd try not to try not to make as little amount of drama as I can as possible, to be honest with you. Lee Westcott, he says, way forward, paracetamol and Red Bull. Whatever works for you, my friend. I've got to be honest, I'm not a great Red Bull fan. It tastes like bubblegum. It's a bit artificial. I can't get my head around it. And it's all caffeine. And caffeine also has no effect on me either. I can drink 4 cups of coffee, go to sleep like a baby. Which is kind of a disadvantage. It means I can drink coffee before bedtime. But no, for me, if I ever had to do it, them Lemsip Cold and Flu seem to work. But normally I just try and soldier through. I did that job. Gary John Baker says, you must have been rough coming back from Newcastle empty. Mate, I still try to get a job. One of them was kind of up there. I did bid on one job. And you know, it's getting a bit silly out there when it was going 151 miles, but I was passing it and it was going back to Luton. So I bid them 90 quid, a small van job. And in the end, I said I'd do it for 60 quid. That's 151 miles for 60 quid. That's like 35, 40 pence a mile. Still didn't get it. I wonder if it was one of those ghost jobs that didn't exist. But in the end, I just thought, I'm just going to get my head down and get back now. At one stage I got to the top of the M1 and I pulled in. I thought, I'll pull in for half an hour, see if something pings up. Half an hour later, I realised I'd been asleep for half an hour and I went, I'm going home. So, but I'm feeling much better now, which is a good thing. There we go. Yeah, so that's it on the sickness. We won't dwell on that one. Another one on the list, places to go to visit. There's a few comments. It was the live. I forget who it says. Yeah, it was the live of birds I was thinking of. Just pretty sure it's Nevis Hughes and somebody else. Places. Steve Davis again. He said he drove past Stonehenge. He said it's a bit disappointing. Yeah, I've driven past it a couple of times, and you kind of look in and you go, oh, look, there's some stones. I think you've got to pay something like 10, 15 quid to get inside. If you go up to the visitor centre and you actually go in and walk around the stones, I'm thinking, I don't need to get inside. I can see them from here. They're over there, look. But at least I know where it is. Somewhere where you don't want to be if you want a return job is where it is. Somewhere down the country towards Bristol. What else have we got? Oh yeah, David Oxborough. He said, I think I got my Port Talbots and my Port Isaacs mixed up. I meant Port Isaac I've added to the list after watching Fisherman's Friends, but apparently they shot that Dr. What's his name? Dr. Martin down there. Never watched that. Like Martin Clunes. Watch Me Behaving Badly. Never watched that. But Mike Paul he says I've gone a bit mad. If Port Talbot's a nice place. Port Talbot's all right. Kind of reminds me of Teesside where I went to study, but and at least it's like you can get a job out of Port Talbot, you can get a job out of Bristol. Got half a chance down there, but but no, it's Port Isaacs is the place I've added to the list. RK says places that are lovely. Burton on the Water. He said I went to Burton on the Water and the Cotswolds, never wanted to leave. So there's another one I've got to add to the list, mate. I'll see if I can get down there one day. And also Bath is lovely, but you want Swindon or Bristol for jobs. This is true. I know this. Tomorrow I'm off to Bath and Bristol. I've got 2 drops, one at the pub in the joinery at the pub in Bath, and one at a pub that I've done before in Bristol. I will be doing them in that order. That way I'll be finished in Bristol, but I don't reckon I'm going to get done till 1 o'clock. If I can get a job out of Bristol at 1 o'clock coming back, I'm a lucky man. If not, I get paid enough. So it doesn't matter if I have to come back empty on that one. Still, I hate coming back empty. Right, what else? We got general questions. Okay, Martin Clandu. Can you sell the app on? He's been doing it for a little while. He's not using it. He can sell it on. As far as I know, no. You buy the app. I suppose there's nothing stopping you if you know someone, giving them the app, putting it on their phone, giving them your login details, letting them run with the app and arranging a private sale. But as far as I know, there is no way to actually sell the app back or to turn around the exchange. They will sell you. It's a bit like gym membership. You join for the year, you join for the year. If you design after 3 months, you can't be bothered because you're going to sit on the sofa. You've still got a gym that works, but you can't go back and you buy it as you buy it on the deal you buy it on. But yeah, like I say, if you want to sell it privately, if you can find someone who wants it, you put it on their phone, you have a private deal. As far as I know, well, there's nothing stopping you, but as to actually properly selling it on, no, it's kind of, you buy the app for you. So that's the way it works on that one. Peter Lomas, does the app use a lot of phone data? Practically none, I'll be honest with you. Your big data usage, your streaming things, aren't they? Your YouTube, or watching me, or your videos, or your Netflix, and all that kind of stuff like this. I don't even notice the data usage. It's minimal. I mean, I don't know. I imagine you could probably get away with 1 gig a month, and you'd probably still have enough left over. So it's live and it's updated, but it is minimal, the amount of data it uses. Right, everybody, important one. There's a new face group out there. A new Facebook group. So this has been set up for anybody who wants support on the Grease Challenge. I'm not on Facebook anymore. I can't be bothered with it. I got fed up of looking at photos of people's food and children I didn't know anymore, so I just came off it. And you can spend forever looking at just scrolling, looking at nothing. But there's a Facebook group page, and it's called Courier Exchange Owner Drivers. So if you guys are out there and you're on the Facebook, and you type in, I mean, I don't know how this works, I never have found them out. Courier Exchange Owner Drivers. You can join the page, have a little forum, have a little chat. Maybe I will have to get on and get back on it, I don't know. But in the meantime, you can still get me from this channel here. So, right, that just lastly, that was, I'll do it at the end if I remember. Right, what else have we got? Oh yeah, he says from Dan Newman, he says, what's my average miles per gallon? And this also ties in with a question by Goodwin Gaming, who says, how much it costs for me to run the van a day? Can we have an accurate thing? I wish I could give you an accurate thing, but to be honest with you, I'm a bit slapdash. The way I work it out is this. Every time I fill the van up, it costs me around about 80 quid. Because we've got the fuel cards, cost me around about 80 quid. And that does, on average, 400 miles. So you do the maths on that, 80 quid is 400 miles, 40 quid is 200 miles, which means 20 quid's 100 miles, or 10 for 50, So the way I tend to look at it, and I've got my thing on my Speedo in 4 blocks. So the way I look, every time I've done one of those blocks, I've done 100 miles, and I've done 20 quid. If I look at a job, say for example, I did a job, I had to deliver a bike up to Stoke-on-Trent on Friday. That was 131 miles. I thought, right, that's going to cost me 25 quid in diesel. Because 113 miles. It's going to cost me just over 20 quid in diesel. Job was worth £130. So on that job, I made £85. As for the running of the van a day, you take your insurance across the year, and you take your wear and tear across the year and divide it by 12. I would say conservatively my van costs me about 20 quid a day to run. So if I can go out there and I can make 250, less my diesel, less my wear and tear on the motor, I'd like to hope I'm bringing in the best part of 200 quid a day. And then of course you've got your tax off that. Then having said that, there are days when I can go out and do more because I've got my end user customers now, but that's always been the goal to get towards that. And also I get a little bit out of the business as well, but it's mostly me is where my money comes from. But the long and the short of it is, I'm not super au fait with it. If the van needs a service, I get it serviced. If the van needs fuel, I put fuel in it. I know I can do 400 miles on a tank, give or take. You'll do more on motorway miles than you will around town, obviously, but then you'll get more for around town jobs. I did a job last week, it was on a Thursday, it was 9 miles, got 40 quid. Which again, there was a time when I said, don't ever sell the job for don't ever do a Luton van job for less than 65. But it's been very tough. The competition's been tough out there lately. And also, it's January, and I always say, well, you can quote a little bit cheaper in January, just while things get up and running again, get yourself out and running. But that's the best I can do for you guys, really. But you work it out for yourself. Fill the tank up, see how many miles it does. Do that 2 or 3 times, get an average. Work out your insurance, divide it by 12. And hopefully we've now got 10 years worth of no claims bonus on the firm insurance, and I'm hoping that's going to drive my insurance right down through the floor, which will be nice. But yeah, you've got to do your own thing there on that one. Good luck. Long finger, working for Speedy Freight. Are we worried in case Starbucks goes bump? I spoke to various different people, and I've said this before. I've spoken to various different people in the throw. I'm always concerned about working for anybody, to be honest with you, in case I don't get paid, other than the real people that I'm 100% pedigreed. I know that Speedy Freight is a subsidiary of Stobbart's. They get a lot of their job from Stobbart's, but they're not directly linked in. I also know that a lot of them are franchised, and I'm kind of the belief that if some of the franchises get into trouble, then something else might come along and take over. I'll be honest with you, I've always said, just don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you're going to work for firms, try and spread it evenly, and that way, if you do have to have a hit, then at least you've got other places. It's not going to be, you're not going to lose all your money. You're going to lose some of your money. It's like, I suppose, like on a roulette table. Rather than putting all your chips on like 53, try and spread them across the table. You've got more chance of getting something back. Yeah, that's all I would say. The other thing is, if you don't work for Speedy Freight, a lot of the jobs on the exchange are Speedy Freight driven. So you could instantly at any one stage be cutting out a third of your jobs. So I just say be careful. I wouldn't go too mad with it. It hasn't stopped us taking their jobs, but at the same time, you want to be careful on how much you put in. So that would be my opinion on that one, I would say. Martin, something beginning with K. Sorry, I wrote it, but I've scribbled it again. If you do a job for a company outside the EU, what's the VAT situation? Don't know. All of our invoices I send out plus VAT. I don't know. Anyone who's out there that's got a wiser situation than me, please let me know. I tend to just charge VAT on all of our jobs because we're VAT registered. I've never actually had to invoice Germany. If the situation arises, I'll let you know. But once again, I'm just a new boy here. I'm just passing on the information. Anybody out that's got a better idea, please let us know. That would be great. And Rosa's 80 said, how much can you make per day in a master van? It's another one of those how long's a piece of string. In a long wheelbase, you could probably make up to 200 quid a day to start with. If you work really, really hard, you could make 40 quid a day, or you could make nothing, or you could be really, really lucky and get a job going from Newcastle to London and then get one from London to Newcastle. There's too many imponderables, my friend. It depends on how many vans there are at a time, what the demand is, how far you're going to go, whether you're going to stay out, whether you're going to come back home again, whether you get a job to job, whether you get door to door. I would say conservatively, if you're not daft about it and you pull your finger out, you should be easily able to bring in about 150 quid a day in a master van. That should be 2 jobs at £75 each of a decent distance, or 3 little jobs at 50 quid, and you can do 3 jobs in a day and have one on for the morning. You could do more, you could do less. It also depends where you are. You might be in the Cotswolds, you might be in Cornwall, you might be in the middle of Leicester, in which case there's a lot more jobs but a lot more people. The only way to do it is to do it, as a lot of us are out there doing it. So on that note, I'm going to leave you to it. Hope you're all well. Thanks very much again for the kind wishes, and we are here, 2020. Let's hope it's our year, the year where we take care, take money. Bye guys, speak to you soon.